Well, good evening again, everyone. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6, right at kickoff on Parents' Night, week number 3. Let's Get Nasty Port Huron game is underway. You talk about starting right on time. We did that tonight. Kickoff taken 20, look out 30, now 35. Flag on the play, that's going to come back though. Battled forward 45 first among tacklers for the Huskies is Cullen Nesbitt, number 51. I've got to ask you something as we see the Port Huron Northern Huskies for the first time this season here at CPHS Channel 6. What's the one thing in this world that's as contagious as losing? You got it, winning. And winning is something the Huskies as a team have done very little of the past few seasons. Just 3 wins in their last 20 over a 3-year span. Indeed, Northern needs to get a break in some way, in any way, and get a victory any which way you can. Things don't get any easier for them tonight as Warren Woods Tower, the Titans, come into Memorial Stadium with their strong, fast-paced offense to try and keep their winning ways alive. They come in at 2-0. Contagious losing versus contagious winning. Will either change? Sooner or later, no matter what side of that fence you're on, believe me, things do, in fact, do change. We'll see. 1st and 10. Right around right side, rumbles forward, right tackle. And got a few yards there. 1st and 10 from the 12 was where they had the ball. Maybe half the distance, going to bring up 2nd down and short. And just underway, 11:34 to go in the first. Again, Derek Wark, Big D. This is a production of CPHS Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District's television station, and, of course, our good friends at EBW.TV. Indeed, the Big D being big, a state of mind, especially for this guy right here. Cuts back and forth, then lost the football, jumped on it. Did 28. Isaiah Swift on the carry for Tower, and lucky he did, but all kinds of yards first. And it's going to be a 1st down for Woods at Tower here. Basically, it's just line push, and they're not tackling at the line in the first couple of carries. So that gives you an idea. The Huskies, they've got to make tackles. The Big D's big 3 keys to winning this football game. First off, 0 turnovers for the Huskies. I mean, last week was 15-0 before anybody even sat down in the blowout victory Marysville had over our Huskies. And it was 43-9. So the rest of those Big D's big 3 keys to winning here in just a minute. 1st and 10. Play fake. Option look. Fake. Juke. Jive. 45. Maybe 46. That's Darius Jordan. Very highly rated quarterback is Jordan. They say MAC red talent playing out of the MAC gold. This kid does everything. Dual threat quarterback. Passes for 1,000 yards a season ago, rushed for 1,000 yards a season ago. He's even. He's 50-50, either of both. And the Huskies, as linebackers in this game, I think, Nick Miller, Adam Shire, they were challenged by Coach Connell this week and saying they're a big, big key. And I have to agree with them. Because anytime you have a dual threat quarterback, what he wants to do is get out of the pocket. Most of the time, you want to force a quarterback to stay in the pocket. This guy to get out of the pocket, though, very dangerous. Here he goes here now. Cuts up field 50, past midfield 45, turns, spins, down 40, and the 39 of the Huskies. So if you're going to come in the blitz, you're going to force a guy to the outside, clearly. This guy wants to get to the outside. So basically the emphasis put on the Husky defensive ends to basically get into the offensive backfield and prevent a lot of east to west running. But also the linebackers, you can't come on blitzes. You've got to wait with a kid like this. You've got to wait, you've got to be patient, you've got to make the tackle, and here they're just not doing it. Warren Woods Tower so far, getting through the line of scrimmage. Husky front 4 being pushed back. Timeout, though, in the early going. The Huskies call it. So the Warren Woods Tower fans, very, very happy with what they're seeing thus far. And basically simple running plays, simple calls getting through, and again, pushing the line. Big D's big 3 keys to winning. Again, my first one, 0 turnovers for the Huskies. Number 2, finish your tackling. Left side of the defense last year got burned by huge plays by quarterback runnings. Just quarterback sneaks or QB keepers. To the right side of the offense, left side of the defense. You can bet this Darius Jordan, strong rushing QB. He's going to be a kid that's going to try and do just that for Woods Tower tonight. So again, emphasis linebackers and keep him in the pocket. This is a kid who likes to get outside. You don't let him. You make him be a pocket passer. That's how you beat these kind of guys. And number 3, protect up front, because one of the big keys to this Husky team and why they haven't been that successful, a lot of luck, but also a lot of injuries have been their big issue, really. And you've got to keep Kyle Birch, upright, as well their new tailback in Travis Hughes. This is a play fake on first down. Darius Jordan again gets to the 30, should be a first down. And they're making it look flat out easy right now in this very talented dual threat quarterback in Jordan, number 10. But protection up front so key. Keeping these guys healthy such key. And obviously Kyle Birch, keeping him upright is the way to go. But if you have bad luck, there's only one way to go, and that is up. I've said it for years with the Huskies. But injuries have played a big part. And you talk about not just regular guys getting injured, but players in the offensive backfield. Golding has been out before. Merchant's been out. Micah Moore. Guys like this in the past. Important players in their offense. See, these tackles are being missed. They've got to be made. Isaiah Swift, 10 and 12 and 14 more. I know he's a big player. He's a load. But if you want to win the game, you've got to tackle him at the line. So far, they have not done that. But it is early. Anyway, Warren Woods Tower come in tonight. 2-0 overall, 1-0 in the MAC Gold. They moved up from the MAC Silver to the Gold, and when a team's going to move up divisions, I have the ultimate respect for them. And why wouldn't they have done it? 4-1 record, 2013. So they thought, why not? And I agree with that. 6-3 overall last year, first round playoff exit. They list senior leadership their number one strength, but I don't know how it's not team speed, because trust me, they've got a ton of it. Back to pass off play fake, dives end zone. What a pass, Darius Jordan, but they're calling it incomplete. Darius Jordan was running off the field. He thought, touchdown, no problem. Looked at the call and he's like, what? Number 1 as well, Toriano Hudson, who made a dazzling catch, at least an attempt at one. They're calling it incomplete. This is as pretty as you're going to see from a wideout, though. Great pass off play fake from Jordan. Look at that. Tight spiral in his hands. Well, that's a good call, folks. Yep. The ground cannot assist you in catching the football. So that's a great call by the officials there. Absolutely. And not a homer call. It's the right call. 3 wide this time. 1 is very wide. And 1 back. 2nd and 7. The give. Straight up. Finally, they push him back. There's a good job. That's more like it. Whole horde of Huskies on the tackle. Josh Conant among them. 55 was over there as well. Shane Sheridan. While Warren Woods Tower Titans are coached by Mike Mahar, who claims the key this season is for Tower's underclassmen to step up. If they do, they could be in for a very strong season. Well, that and Darius Jordan going for 1,000 rushing and 1,000 passing, which certainly never hurts either. Again, their version of Mark Chapman, basically. And that's as high of praise as I can possibly give someone, as you're aware, in this area. Officially, it's 4th and 2 now. They're going to go for it here. Running formation all the way. 2 backs blocking ahead of Isaiah Swift this time. The immediate give. Battling through. It's going to be close, but I think they've got it. Well, where that one official is, he's way past the sticks. And it's going to be, looks like a first down. Yes, it is. That really wasn't the running back there at all. It's basically overload one side, just block. Right side, right guard, right tackle, forward push. They've owned the line so far. So knowing you have, you keep going there with basic runs. You don't need razzle-dazzle when you're beating them with simple smash mouth stuff. 7.5 to go now in the first. Woods Tower hasn't yet scored, but the way they're running this offense right now, highly touted offense out of the MAC Gold. Darius Jordan thought about passing. Now he's going to keep it. No pass rush to speak of. But I said, that's what the Huskies have to do. This is one game, as we see Jordan go out of bounds there. This is one game where you may not see much of a pass rush, because this is how you defend a guy like this. A guy who can get to the outside. Defend the outside. Don't let him get out there. Chapman was more of a read option guy, a north-south kind of a runner. He attacked quick through the line. This is a different kind of a runner. He's to the outside. He wants to get out of the pocket and, again, make things happen. And there you see number 1, good close-up of him, Toriano Hudson. Gentleman there for Tower a minute ago. They called off the touchdown. And after seeing the replay by the big fella in the truck, E.J. Shea, indeed, they got that call right. 1st and goal from the 9. Swift again, rumbling forward, lowers his head to the 6. 42 among tacklers. Zach Cohn for the Huskies. Again, their offense led by 10, Darius Jordan. He'll run for as many yards as he'll pass for. We've talked about him enough so far. 22, the wideout, Jimmy Schindler. Excellent 1-2 punch with Jordan. And the guy we just saw, Toriano Hudson, listed as a tailback, but they're lining him out wide in this game. Tyler Vargo as well. Vargo listed actually as a fullback for them. And the tight end is listed as Andrew Zanetti, number 89. Watch for him as well. We'll get into the Husky defense here in just a moment. But first we have second down and goal from the 6. Shotgun again, one back set. Play fake, outside, middle, caught! Did he hang on? He did. Touchdown, Warren Woods. Tower, 22, James Schindler. That's your typical red zone touchdown and typical red zone pass. Get in front of the defender, sit there. If they've got nobody in front of him, touchdown every time. Although, I got to say, from the backside, that's not bad pass defense from there. They just ran out of room. There wasn't a lot of yards to really defend there. So 6.5 to go. First quarter. Warren Woods, the early punch in for 6. Darius Jordan, who just passed for one, is now the holder. Extra point attempt here, Stephen Fowler. Place down, extra point, kick up, and he missed it. So at least, in the very least, the Huskies have something they can be proud of from a defensive standpoint in that first drive. There you go, 6:30 to go, 6-0, Tower. Replay of the touchdown. Beautiful pass. And you notice something there, Darius Jordan, the slight lead with the pass. That's what you have to do. Every pass is about timing, especially the cross-the-middle kind of stuff. As there you see, he's in Never Ever Land, he's so far away. The 10 miles away, Paul Campow down there. And if it rains tonight, you notice he's got nothing above him. He will get wet. But let's not jinx him. Let's not jinx anybody here with bad weather tonight. Anyway, Derek Wark, the big D, about to name the Husky defense. 4 starters returned on their defense. It's a 3-4. They'll go at least 6 deep on the D-line with 54 Mike Mahaffey, 51 Cullen Nesbitt, among others. A deep linebacker group led by McGuffin, Patrick McGuffin, 33. But he's been hurt by the sounds of things. Aaron Bitzinger was disappointed there last week anyway. Huge loss for them. But guys like 72 Vass Binder, linebacker on D, he's going to have to pick up his play, really, with the loss of McGuffin. Nick Miller, 75. Shire is 30. Booms, 52. Culp, 32. Shire, 30 as well. Well, they've got to pick up their play. Let's face it. They've got to make tackles. Look out. Drop the kickoff here down to the 29. Number 2, good presence of mind there. Carter Schwartz. They're just playing jump on that football, and good thing he did. The secondary for the Huskies, deep. Coach Connell calls them the strength of the entire defense. With senior corners Ryan Hunt, 16. Martindale, 3. Schwartz, number 2. He's actually the player down right now, so we'll certainly wish him well. He'll play a bit back there. Here's a look at the replay before I name some of the rest of the players to make a note of here defensively. Well, did he kind of just jump on his leg afterwards? Maybe a late cramp. He tried to get up and just kind of went down after that, so could be the vicious cramp we all worry about. And that's what you hope for. It's immediate pain, so you don't hope for that for the kid, but cramps do go away. It's normal as we have a look at the Husky Dogs. And they were a part of the pregame little cheer with the Husky team. Kind of gathered around each other. Did their cheer. And the Husky Dogs, they were doing their share of cheering too down there. They must be friendly dogs. They must be people-loving dogs, because you don't bring them to football games around all these people and not have them happy and be great dogs. There's the Ox. He's great with people too. And very tame. Don't feed the animals. Well, maybe him. He's a tame guy. Yep, there he is. Maybe he can hear me from next door. I don't know. These walls aren't soundproof anymore. He can hear me. He was almost offended by that comment there. Anyway, getting up is Schwartz. Number 2. You can see him limping. He might be suffering from a cramp at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see on him. But he got up. Why'd he get up? Because he's a TG tough guy. That's why. Number 2. And the Huskies can't afford to lose anybody else, too. Schwartz, one of the players they expected big things from this season, and certainly a good athlete. Safeties, as we look at the Husky D one more time. 22, Tanton Elliott. 6, Bobby Lane. And 4, Kyle Birch, if he's not the QB. But he is the QB. And here he is now on offense. And we'll talk about the Huskies on O in just a moment. First, though, Tower jumps. I believe 53 jumped. Daryl Cowart. So the Huskies will definitely have that with open arms. And now it'll be 1st and 5. Ball marked at the 35. Well, on offense for the Huskies, 4 starters return. Quarterback Kyle Birch, just mentioned him, comes back for his senior season. Bit of a learning curve last season, and more on him in a minute. Give, straight up dropped, right when he hit the line after maybe a gain of 1, if that. 11 the carry, as Travis Hughes, the new sophomore runner that they're trying to develop into this offense. Again, it's all about health. You got to keep Birch healthy for any hope at all. High IQ, Coach Connell calls Kyle Birch as well. Savvy, he says. I like that word, savvy. 4 wide this time. Birch looking. 2nd down and 5. Clears the way. Nice pickup block. Travis Hughes out of bounds and roughed up by the wall. Look out. Late flag, definitely. And the coaching staff at Tower are letting their players know about it down there. And rightfully so. It's enhanced because it's the QB. Everybody's going to be watching him. So you do anything extra with the quarterback going out of bounds like that, flag every time. So the Huskies getting more out of that than they certainly could ask for on the opening drive. They need any kind of a break right now coming into this game at 0-2, and well, that's a start. That might be it right there. Again, number 10, running back Travis Hughes, the sophomore. He'll have to be big tonight, but when it's not Hughes, could be number 8, Clinton Massey. He's also possible back there. We'll get to the wideouts here in just a moment. Run and shoot look right now, but the skies aren't looking too promising. Play fake one side, throws other side to 12. Colby Nabosny. Half the distance, that'll be 2nd down and 5. He's wearing the magic number, really. And I say that because the leading Husky who graduated a season ago, number 12, Andrew Sufis, he was a dynamite player. Kyle Birch certainly was sorry to see him go. But they do have athletes that can step up. On the outside has never been the problem with this team. As they send Nabosny in motion again. Birch, great pass rush. Woods, he did all he could just to avoid it and might have even got a half a yard. So that right there really is all on Birch. Again, the wideouts have talent on this squad. Senior 12, Aaron Martindale. Big play potential if he does play offensively. Listed mostly this season as just a cornerback. 22, Tanton Elliott. 6, Bobby Lane. From there, anything. From 24, Spencer German. 2, Carter Schwartz. And Colby Nabosny, who we've already heard from. 3rd down and 5. Huge play right here. And they're going to say that one of the wideouts, I believe Tyler Rotho on the outside for Northern, he jumped way, way top of your screen, and that's exactly what the call is. Well, the Huskies are led up front by 2-year starter and 3-year returning player, number 72, the center, Spencer Vassbinder. He's a big guy. He's a good leader. 75 as well, Jordan Killion. 54, Mike Mahaffey are others to watch for the Huskies. Well, the defense for Warren Woods Tower, a couple names here. Defensive end number 89, Andrew Zanetti, is a force. 5, middle linebacker Tyler Vargo, and as well number 1, Toriano Hudson on the outside. 3rd down and 10 to the outside. Spin move, caught, 35. Fumbles the football out of bounds at the 25. And if that's the case, that'll be a 1st down. So the Huskies, again, it's about getting more than you could possibly ask for. And they have. Little bit of luck never hurt nobody, especially on a team so void of luck these last few years. It will be 1st down Huskies. So a couple of breaks, and very, very important on this drive, and you're seeing it. They're keeping Darius Jordan off the football field. These highly touted offenses, they can't beat you if they're sitting on the pine. To pass again, Birch rifles it over the middle. No. Rifled it mostly right into the ground, really. 24, the intended receiver there, Spencer German.
Birch's pass intended for number 24, Spencer Dearman, incomplete.
Well, the Port Huron Northern Huskies, this is the 50th senior class in Port Huron Northern history, and they're very, very proud of that, and rightfully so. The 50th senior class here on Parents' Night. 2nd down and 10 now. Good pass protection this time. Kyle Birch outside, caught. Are they going to say he's inbounds? They are going to say he caught it. That's a nice job. That's good concentration after the hands come first. Tanton Elliott brings it in at the 16 out of bounds. And that'll bring up third and very short by the looks of things. So they got 9. Very manageable offense right now for the Huskies. And again, a few breaks on this drive. Much needed, much accepted. Shotgun with 1 back and 3 wide. Offensive line has the last second shift here. Possibly trying to draw Tower offside. The give. Excellent yardage. Travis Hughes busts through. 10. Now to the 6, the 5, and we got a late flag as well. Number 11, the sophomore, Travis Hughes. There we go. A Hughes run by Tyler Hughes. Travis Hughes, there you go. Maybe related to Tyler. Remember Tyler last year? Highly possible. And it's a face mask on the tackle. Going to be half the distance, automatic first down, which they got the first down anyway, so very strong drive. This is exactly what the Huskies needed here. They needed some form of confidence after they were blown out by Marysville last week. And, of course, a tough loss to start the year as well. So here we go. First and goal from the 4, they say. High snap. Birch throws outside. Man-to-man caught. Touchdown, Huskies. 16, Ryan Hunt to the outside. Actually listed as a backup quarterback. Does the job. That's just a fade pass. But there you see, that kind of a pass, it's fearless. Because it's man-to-man, you just say, here, go get it. And really, it wasn't bad defended. But you don't throw that pass unless you've got extreme faith in your wideout. Certainly there, they did. That's a great job on the opening drive for Port Huron Northern. They needed it. They've got it. And also, I should mention, a great story here, and certainly it helps. The fans get involved. It is a female kicker for the Huskies, Sarah Vanderhoovel. That's nice to see. You don't see that every day. Probably got her off the soccer field because obviously soccer players have the great boot, the great leg, as she does. And now that missed extra point a minute ago, that's huge. It is not a tie game. 7-6 Huskies lead on Parents' Night. Derek Wark, the Big D. CPHS Channel 6, we're being big. It's a state of mind. Well, more on Port Huron Northern. I should say it again here on Parents' Night. The 50th senior class in Port Huron Northern history. And they're going to be doing various things throughout the season here to really emphasize that, and with good reason. Huskies have an enrollment of just under 1,300 students. Coached by, of course, Pat Connell. 4-year career record of 15-22. This his 5th year. 2-7 overall last season. 2-3 in the MAC White. They beat Fraser and a very entertaining one last year. Came down to the wire against Lance Cruz, but that's it. They moved down to the MAC Gold from the MAC Blue from a season ago. They last made the playoffs, of course, 2010. We remember that one. 7-2. Went in the playoffs, laid an egg in round 1, so they were 7-3 overall in Connell's first year. Coming off a season of injuries, too, and what else is new? So far, so good, though. In 13, let's get nasty. Port Huron. Was it Vassbinder who kicked this? And they were hoping for a squib kick here to kind of catch Warren Woods Tower off guard. It went 10, but they did a good job to down it right there. And out comes the Titans and the tremendous Darius Jordan. Very definitive opening drive for them, but so did the Huskies. Great work by them to answer the call. One other name, by the way, I should also mention too, Artez Hadley on the D for the Huskies. Didn't mention him. I really liked the way he played last year in the secondary, number 9. First down and 10. 3:55 to go in the first. 7-6 Huskies. It's a wideout screen. Crosses the field. Great cut. And spin move once. Spin move twice to the 45. Down right there. 51 got him. Cullen Nesbitt, the tackle for the Huskies. Well, it doesn't help that the pass came high. Wideout screen like that. Sometimes you're going to lob it anyway, but he would have probably had more yards had that hit him hard into the chest. Screen's more designed for the little lob pass here. Well, the Husky pass rush kind of fell down. That didn't help the matter. And there you see missed tackles again. Great spin move, though, by 22 there, James Schindler, who we mentioned. And he looks really tall out there, doesn't he? Read option look. Quarterback keeper, Darius Jordan. Bye. Touchdown, Tower.
Touchdown, Titans.
Well, they don't rate him one of the best quarterbacks in the MAC for nothing. And really, the kid has MAC red talent on a MAC Gold team. And that's fine because really he's got a chance at this team winning the gold this year. And he is a big reason for that. Good speed, good arm, does both. I'm still a firm believer that at the highest level in the NFL, for instance, pocket passing is still the most effective way. But in the lower levels, certainly dual threat quarterbacks, very impressive if they can get the job done both ways. Isaiah Swift, 2-point conversion, good. Straight up, nothing fancy, right at center, busted through. Just not enough ground to defend, and just like that, Darius Jordan. Here's the replay. And a fan a moment ago got up right underneath me, had both of his arms stretched flat out, screamed over to the Husky fans, "How do you like that?" Well, I guarantee you they don't. Well, there was nobody there. Like, that's an easy run, really. Get out past the linebackers, open field, open steam. This has been an issue for the Huskies, though. Stopping rushing QBs. Right, Suds? And she's right at the wall now, so she can hear everything I'm saying now. There she is. The Suds. Not really sure how she got that nickname. I don't ask how they get their nickname. It's just something Ed Sinnott comes up with. I figure a bubble bath got out of control one night or something. Suds, there you go. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Kickoff, taken 15. Quickly 20, 25. Grabbed at the feet, brought down 30. That's a nice open field tackle there by 6, Jeff Lowe, because if he doesn't make it, I guarantee you there's a lot more yards there. Had a nice little seam there. Well, the predicted order of finish in the Detroit News for these two teams. Well, first off, here's the replay on the kickoff. The return here was actually number 12, Colby Nabosny again. Nice to see him back in it after being hurt a moment ago. Actually, that was Schwartz. And tripped up there by the legs. Birch, shotgun, man in motion, one back. It's a play fake. Birch to the outside. Too many defenders, really. They rode him out of bounds. And when you saw that other player, that extra linebacker, kind of jump in and try and make the tackle on him there, that's when you got to go out of bounds right then and there. He waited a minute, but very well defended play by Tower right away and then late with that extra jump-in player. 2nd and 10. Ball marked now at the 30 after a very nice drive, opening it up for the Huskies. Birch thought about passing. Now he's going to pass again. Secondary option. Travis Hughes, the dump off, right down at the 30. Minimal gain, if anything, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long. Again, that predicted order of finish in the MAC Gold. Marine City, they say, will win it. And they usually do say Marine City. Number 2 is St. Clair. 3, Marysville. 4 is this team we're seeing right now, Warren Woods Tower. Northern right behind them in 5th and 6th, Sterling Heights. Of course, Woods really could win this division, I think. They've got the kind of talent. Speaking of the kind of talent here, nice job. And that can't be overlooked because of the field that Birch is throwing. He's on the far side of the field, throwing over here on the near. So you're throwing just as far east to west as you are north-south there, but picking that one up. Johnny Wormlinger. Just over 2 to go now in the first. 14-7 again, Warren Woods Tower on top of our Port Huron Northern Huskies. Read option look, the handoff didn't look smooth. And Travis Hughes dropped. Might have lost a yard. And that brings up 2nd down now. I would say the top 4 teams, and I think maybe Woods slightly underrated on this list. They say 4th. I think this is a better team than 4th. I think any of the top 3, I would rate this team actually ahead of Marysville. But of the top 3 or 4, any of them could win. This was on the run, and if he didn't drop it, it's 6. There was no one behind 12 there, Colby Nabosny. They tried to hit him on the run, and if he makes it, Goodbye. Again, we did not start the broadcast tonight with a traditional Big D showing his chiclets on cam, but we started right on time. So congrats to the folks in the truck down there for getting this game going right when they had to. And when I say right when they had to, it was on and the kick. There you go. So they got her going. Great job, Ed. Pass to the outside. Trying to shake it off is Nabozny, but no can do. That's very strong defense to make that tackle right at the catch. 24 made the tackle. And we don't have him, so what do? Well, I think it's 34, actually. Bradley Cole's on the tackle there. I was going to say I usually call them Mr. X, but we do have it. Bradley Cole's. It's 34 and not 24. Fourth down now. Huskies not doing much on this set of downs. And it's going to be a timeout. Woods Tower wasting one with 1 minute to go. Just under one in the first. As we see Port Huron's finest there. Loving the fact they can watch football on a night of duty. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS Channel 6, EBW.TV. As we hear the Husky band play Eat 'em Up, rah, rah, rah. Well, we did on drive one, that's for sure. Went right down the field. Birch, good job. The one thing that Birch does have, he possesses, is a lot of composure. Senior player, certainly. It's about the talent around him. Well, one, can you protect him? Two, the talent around him. When I had heard that the Huskies went down a division, down to the MAC Gold, my first thought was excellent. Because this team needs to start winning. They do. That's a good pass. I think maybe they got a piece of that, though, as we see the replay. They need to figure out again how to win again. And really that comes play at a time, quarter at a time. They really haven't had a bad first quarter here considering the competition. But I thought, well, might be easier talent for them. I actually think the MAC Gold is better than the MAC Blue this season. Team for team, it's probably close because Blue lost a lot of talent to the White, and a lot of the divisions mixed and matched this season as we see the punt down right away at the 25, and that's where Darius Jordan's Warren Woods Tower Titans will come out again for their next drive. There's the Husky Dogs looking for anything they might be able to chomp down on, to snack on. No luck so far. Well, good thing for the Huskies there, he didn't call a fair catch. They dropped him right away. Good job, special teams. But now it's about defending this very highly talented QB for Tower, Darius Jordan. Well, the Warren Woods Tower Titans came in at 2-0 this game. Last season, they lost out in the playoffs, round one, to Detroit Jesuit. Very talented team. We don't have to tell you how great they are. Apparently, it was their first playoff appearance in 7 years for the Titans. In 2013, the Titans averaged 32 points a game in their up-tempo offense, and what a shocker. After 2 weeks, they're just under that total yet again. They're going to let the clock roll, I think, here. Do they have time for one more play before quarter end? Maybe one more, as Jordan just looked up at the clock. Final 20 seconds of the first on this 2nd and 5. I think they're going to get one more play off. Yes, they are going to snap this ball. Jordan, the play fake, but they wrap him up. That's a great tackle. That is exactly how you have to defend this man. 74 there, Nick Miller. It's Miller time, folks. That's a great play to end the first quarter for the Huskies, and really on Parents' Night, it wasn't that bad a first quarter, considering, again, this Tower team is a winning football team. After one here from Memorial, Derek Wark, the Big D, 14-7. Our Huskies trailing, visiting Warren Woods Tower. Back with a second in a bit. CPHS. I'll say things you've never heard before. Why? Because I can. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6 from Memorial Stadium. Hello, football greetings to you and yours tonight. It was the first quarter we expected. There's play about to start here, so we'll talk to you here in a minute. Can't miss the action. That would be a tragedy. 3rd and 5 from the 29. Flag is thrown here. Certainly, Darius Jordan is exactly what we thought he was and more, at least if the first quarter is an indication. This is a offside on Warren Wood's tower. So the Cub came in, then he left, now he's back again. And here I am again, so coming off the flag here. But yeah, Jordan has demonstrated what we thought. Great on the pass, he can get out of the pocket. So important the defensive ends sit like this on him. Don't let him go north, well, he's going to go north-south. Don't let him go east to west. The kid's going to get out of the pocket. He's going to do damage, and so far, he has done indeed just that. Key to the Huskies, though, you've got to tackle as this game goes on. Play fake here. Jordan going to air it off the play fake. Deep to Schindler. Caught on the turnaround. Excellent concentration. Downed at the 37. What a throw by Jordan that time. It was an immediate fake. And then right off of it, he just said, here you go, eat it. Schindler there has a little bit of a height mismatch. Here you see, just backed off and said, here, take this. Kind of off his back foot on that throw, just kind of aired it up, deep lob, but Schindler, when you have guys that can come down with the football, that's exactly how you throw the ball. 3 wide, 2 on the far, 1 near, and 1 back set on 1st and 10. This is a wide out screen again. First block is picked up. Schindler's got a ton of yards. Well, there's nobody in the middle. No linebacker sitting in the middle to defend that one. And that is where Darius Jordan becomes a factor. You see it right there. The linebackers are defending east-west. There's nothing in the center. That's why wide out screens will be so effective for this team as they go along and they face the big teams in this division like the Marine Cities and the St. Clairs. They are so wrapped up in Jordan that this over-the-middle stuff is going to work. But you want them to beat you that way. You don't want Jordan to beat you with his legs. Case in point. What we saw in the first. This one over the middle, wide open, drop the ball. Lucky for the Huskies that he did. Intended pass for Toriano Hudson, number 1, and it's incomplete. Well, simply put, that, folks, should have been 6. Well, Coach Connell claimed there was a sense of urgency in practice this week. Well, that's a good thing, because 0-2 and being blown out 43-9 a week ago, there should be. This is right in his hands. That's got to be caught. And they say when you catch the ball with 2 hands, no matter where it is, it's got to be brought down. Jordan, outside. Look it. Fine athlete to the 10, to the 5. Spin move 4.
Darius Jordan, the ball carrier.
You have to tie him up before he gets around the tackle. If he breaks through and gets over the middle, he becomes very dangerous.
Stopped on the play by number 6, Bobby Lee.
Scary thought. He's not a kid that reaches top speed right away. He's cutting in the middle and then he's reaching top speed. So, prime example right there. Inside the 5 to the 4. Well, they say officially on the 5. Looks more like the 4. Anyway, 1st and goal from there. 1 back behind him. That's Isaiah Swift again. Gets the call. Untouched. Touchdown. Woods Tower.
Isaiah Swift, the ball carrier.
You can see just by looking at that kid, Isaiah Swift. He's a load. And really, that's a nice 1-2 punch with Darius Jordan in that offensive backfield because you've got a big load and you've got a swift runner. Well, no pun intended. His name's Isaiah Swift, and I said he's a swift runner, but Swift is 6 foot 235. A nice compliment to the speedy Darius Jordan. 6 foot 175, but a speed burner, and he set that drive up. Set up the touchdown. It's now 21-7. The Titans look great so far to go 3-0 on the season. There you see, he's basically untouched. But again, it gets back to a minute ago when he got the ball. 2-point conversion was good. when you don't have a lot of field to defend, if you don't hit these backs right away, particularly Swift, and give him a pop and slow down momentum before you get help, he'll just bust forward and bust through. And that's all he did there, but he was untouched, of course. Well, the big stat that the Huskies felt they had to improve on from last week, the 61 rushing yards. But among that, the other big problems they really must overcome when you talk about this entire season, they must control their tempo a lot better. They've got to run the ball better, and obviously, they've got to get more first downs. But above all, they just have to start games better. I mentioned beginning of the broadcast, last week before anybody even sat down, 2 turnovers, 15-0 for Marysville. You're just not going to win games when a game starts off that way. Kickoff again, let's get nasty Port Huron, Colby Nabosny, 10-15. Long legs working, 25-30. Looks like it's going to be a flag brought back, though, as Nabosny down 40. Maybe, if he's lucky, the 41. 15, Jacques Lovejoy on the tackle. Well, 7 of the 9, as we see holding for the Huskies. So, spot of the foul, that's going to come back. 7 of the 9 Husky opponents this year are new, as they moved it down to the gold. But they say they love that fact, and they look forward to the new challenges that lie ahead and that await them. And one thing about them moving down to the gold that I really like, besides the fact that I at first thought it would be a little bit less competition, that's not the case. This is a very talented division as well. Is that the Huskies, they get a lot of, close rival games this year. Nabosny, defense adjusts quick. Had to hop a player, maybe got an extra yard on that hop as he went out of bounds there. 5 among tacklers by the vicious Tower Titans, Tyler Vargo on the tackle. But lots of home stuff, lots of rival stuff. St. Clair, Marysville, Marine City. And of course they play PH of the White, as they normally do, the big rivalry game coming in week 9. So lots of local talent, local games, and I think that's a lot of fun. 2nd down and 4. He's going to get the 4 and more. Hughes, 40. Outside 45, down 48. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. This team needs that. They need a lift. They need to run the football and move the chains. Not just because this is a great Tower offense. They just need to, rest the D a little bit, but mainly just get them some confidence. Figure out how to put points on that scoreboard because, the way this Tower team is moving the ball, the Huskies desperately have got to answer them or they're going to be left behind. That's all there is to it. Nabosny in motion. There's the immediate give. Hits the hole hard. Nice job. Now they're starting to get some yardage on these basic runs. Clinton Massey. See, now this is what's going to open the door for Birch. And this is something they couldn't do in previous seasons. Run the football to open the pass. They just haven't been able to. So then you have teams on the outside just guarding the pass. Birch, 4 wide, looking right side. Now checks off and decides to keep it. QB keeper. Birch gets some yards but gets floored at the 40. 3 got him and hit him hard. Stephen Fowler of Tower. Again, the Huskies play each one of the 4 Blue Water area teams in the MAC this year. Apparently the 2014 season will feature the most local competition, in fact, they've ever had in school history. And I like that. It's something new, it's something different, and rivalries are renewed. Well, Hughes got the handoff, and barely. They just rushed the offensive backfield here. And we have a late flag, too. And that could be against the Huskies, but we'll see. The Tower coaching staff is screaming. They're not very happy about it. And now they're telling them stay down so they don't have to use the timeout. Fine and dandy, but when you get up first, come on. So injured player timeout. He looks up to see if they're coming out. Well, enough about that. We all know what I think about that. Anyway, 9:03 to go in the second. And he's fine. I don't blame them for doing this, though. Absolutely. You go with whatever you get in sports. That's the way it is. Sell the officials on anything. That's the way it goes. That's the way sports is. Anyways, Coach Connell, getting back to him, he admits to doing some advanced scouting this year due to the 7 newbie teams. Sleepless nights indeed for poor Coach Connell, apparently. Yeah, he's fine. TG tough guy. Not sure he was even really hurt. He's walking off just fine. There's Coach Connell. Trust me, Pat, if there are sleepless nights, buddy, take it from the big D. NyQuil does the job. It puts you on your you-know-what. You take that stuff, and you're bedtime coma for the next 10 to 12. So there you go. No more sleepless nights, Coach Connell. And this advanced scouting role you've been doing, these brand new teams that you're playing, the brand new division, the MAC Gold. But the main goal of this team going into 2014, and they're making it a priority, is to forget last season completely. And at just 2 wins, and then the season before 1 overall, you have to do that. Birch in the slot, not much, brings up 3rd down. 2nd and 30, by the way. Way back. So now it's 3rd down. This is not an offense that is really built to go out there and get you, 30 or 40 lickety split. Not like Darius Jordan and Woods Tower. So penalties certainly will hurt this offense. That's a high snap. Birch keeps his composure, airing it out middle, intercepted, stepped in front of, right at midfield, gets back 45 and now down 44. I'll tell you why that's a great job. 79, by the way, made the tackle, Brennan Neaton, because this is the prototypical way that you bait a quarterback defensively. You don't sit in front of him. You say, if you're going to throw that ball, I'm going to be in a position where I'm going to step in front of it, so the quarterback may not see it. It didn't help there that Birch got that snap higher than normal. He felt like maybe he had to rush that one, perhaps. It was pretty good protection, though. Huskies, one thing I said was so key in this game is their up-front protection. Birch did have time to throw that ball. That's a great job defensively, though. That's excellent pass defense. Play fake. They're all over Jordan, but the big speed gets free. 35, 30, 25, cuts 24, and thrown out of bounds. Crowd here wants a penalty, but they let off on him. Perfect example of how a quarterback who can get out of the pocket, does damage. You think you have him, you don't have him. Very slippery. Here you see 74 going after him there, Nick Miller. It was almost Miller time, but Darius Jordan got free, and then just a matter of going to the races. You see, though, he's juking, he's jiving, keeping the feet moving. This is a good athlete, folks. Isaiah Swift, runaway freight train. One tackle from the back, dives forward, got 3 more on the dive, inside the 15 to maybe the 12, and another first down for Tower. Well, he frustrates you because he's so big for starters. But they both do, both Jordan and Swift, because again, it's an excellent 1-2 punch on the rush. And really, you kind of get the feeling right now here, as this half dwindles down, Woods can do anything offensively right now that they want. This is actually a fake. It's an end around. Finally, a nice open field tackle. They didn't end up with much on that one, actually. Won the carry, Hudson, and a fine open field tackle, Zach Cohn, for the Huskies. Pat Connell, getting back to it again, he's preaching the importance of senior leadership this season, and he calls his seniors a, quote, prove themselves group. Well, it's hard to prove yourselves when you're down 21-7. That's for sure, but they don't give up. And that's a key. They keep on going. Hard to do, though. Again, 28-7, touchdown, Tower. Awesome, lightning quick quarterback. There he is, number 10, Darius Jordan. The kids with good speed that are just natural talents, great agility to the outside, they can do both, dual threat. It's almost not fair at this level. He's a lot like Mark Chapman was. Chapman, more straight read option kind of a player, and just bust through the line and let his speed take over. This guy's more of an all-over-the-place kind of guy, but certainly got the skills and the ability similar to Mark, and you can see it in him. And this game's starting to get out of hand in a big-time hurry on Husky Parents' Night at 28-7 now. These guys are going in untouched. All these rushing TDs have been fairly easy for the most part. Interestingly enough, too, I mentioned the move down. When the Huskies played in the white and the blue, of course, the white they played in many years ago now, over a decade ago, they never saw teams from the silver or the bronze, or very seldom did they see teams from the gold other than Marysville, maybe, Marine City or St. Clair, the odd time. But the gold has 3 top-notch teams and 3 bottom teams. This is considered one of the bottom teams on most seasons, Tower, but not this year. I think they're right up there with the tops in the gold. So Northern has seldom played teams like this in their past. They have never, ever faced Tower. So this is one they might not be too quick to forget either. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Kickoff. 10. Nabozny fielded them all so far. 15, now 20. Nice seam, 25. Outside. Battered down 34, maybe 35. They got him from behind that time. And that's where the Huskies and Kyle Birch begin their next set of downs. Well, Warren Woods Tower, in week 1, they beat Warren Kuzno of the Mac Blue 23-20. That's a huge win for them. To beat Warren Kuzno, Kuzno went down from the white to the blue. But you take down them, and there's no telling what you can do. I mean, if you can beat Warren Kuzno, as far as I'm concerned, you can win the gold. Not that Kuzno is as great as they at once were, and, case in point with them moving to the blue, but still, that's a quality win. They beat him 23-20, and I already know it's because Kuzno couldn't stop Darius Jordan. That's obvious. High snap again. Birch, no choice but to keep it. Rolls off both hands. Got it with one. Keeper, 35, maybe 36, that's it. And not much of a gain there. It'll be second down. As we have 6 and 36 ticks left to go in the second quarter from Memorial. Derek Work, the Big D, CPHS, EBW, being big, a state of mind, always. And it is as well at bigdsports.info, where I will talk about all the games I broadcast. Why? Because I'm there. You got it. Birch, the keeper, shotgun. Through on the right side, there's just nothing there. This is a sack jack. 5, Tyler Vargo. Boom. And if it's not a sack, then he might have got half a yard, if that. Anyway, doesn't totally matter. Either way, it's third down and 6 or 7 for the Huskies here in just a moment. Off that opening week, kind of shocker, I'll call it, over Kuzno. They were all over Sterling Heights 40-7. They're offside here, though. Huskies will definitely take that. But yeah, all over Sterling Heights 40-7. And Sterling Heights are said to be rated last in the MAC Gold this season. So that's a win Tower had to have. Divisional rival last week. And they got them, and they got them good, 40-7. So that's how Tower got here at 2-0. Well, well, well. Welcome back. Is that the Big Bad Wolf? Big Bad Wolf, the Ox? Yeah. Just as famous as the Ox, although I won't tell the Ox that. He can get kind of crazy in there when you say things like that. Right up the middle, Birch. Andy the Big Bad Wolf, known as the kind of guy who was, a backup to the Bloodhound perhaps on the roof and an excellent cameraman. And he's legendary because he used to huff and puff and blow the camera over. Andy the Big Bad Wolf, there you go. Channel 6 staple. Camera excellence always. 5:20 now on the second quarter clock. Shotgun. 4 wide. It's a run and shoot look. To pass. Birch airing it out. No. Bounces right at the 50. A little bit short there. 22. Intended receiver, Tanton Elliott. Well, Woods really defensively, especially in pass coverage, it looks like they figured him out now.
Pass intended for number
Well, he's on the camera now. Andy the Big Bad Wolf there next door. Is he filling in for the Ox, maybe?
Second down and 10.
Yep,
Husky.
thumbs up, buddy. Thumbs up. So they give the Ox man a break. High snap to Birch. Through the hole is Hughes. Look out, 40. 35, down 33. First down, Huskies.
Travis Hughes, the ball carrier.
Well, you can see in this Hughes the potential to give this team something they have not had in recent memory as far as the Big D's concerned. A tailback that has game-breaking ability. I thought maybe that Heck a season ago was going to become that back. He got hurt. But Hughes runs with a little bit more oomph, especially going through the line. Not here, though. But it was a play fake. Birch. Big D fell for that one, so you know the play fake. Excellent. To the 21, close to another first down, and I think he's got it. So all of a sudden, Huskies moving the ball again. Down by 3 possessions. But it's going to take a lot to outscore this team. There's Suds. And can you get any closer to poor Suds there? Any closer and she would physically be headbutting the camera by default. Anyway, back to this one. From the 21, first and 10, play fake again. Birch over the middle and wide open end zone. Touchdown, Huskies. 22, Tanton Elliott. Nice to go back to him right off the miss here at midfield a moment ago. And he was wide open this time. And right when I say it looks as if Tower, from a pass defensive standpoint, has them figured out, I don't think so, baby. Huskies 6. So trying to tack on the extra point here. Still down 2 possessions, even if they get this. Sarah Vanderhoovel, it's up. Yep, got the extra point. So the female kicker, Port Huron Northern. Couple of extra points through, nice to see. Still down by a couple possessions here. Here you see the replay again. Perfect pass from Birch, excellent protection. I said that was the key, and he just slipped the secondary, no problem. That's a good job, Tanton Elliott there. Just to break free with a pass route, basically an up-the-middle fly. And if nothing else, they're scoring a little bit. Last week, just the 1 touchdown. This week, they've already got 2, so there's improvement. And that's a big key because I said it. An unsuccessful team at 0-2, there's really only one way to go, and that's up. And when you're aware of that, I know it's cliche to say 1 play at a time, 1 quarter at a time. You know, we need to take it a day at a time if you want to go that far with it, but that's really how you have to look at this. And as long as you're scoring, as long as you're moving the ball, then at least you have something to take to your game, your film room, you know, for future weeks. You can look at previous games for future weeks and say, well, at least we're doing that right. Kickoff. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. A flub or a squib kick again. 35. Cuts. Fumble in the field. They've got it back. 89. Rudy Nowakowski jumps on it. Huskies in business again. How about this change in momentum? And I'm starting to get the feeling like this game could maybe be something like 45-40 before it's over. 22 there is down, James Schindler. I think he was the kickoff return man here that bobbled the ball. And it was right in 89 Nowakowski's hands. Great presence of mind there to get that ball and just down it immediately when you get it. Here we go. Here's a look at the replay. Who stripped him? Well, they stripped him on the tackle is what it was. That wasn't a hand on that ball. I believe it was just a part of the equipment or even the helmet. And it might have hit his hand, maybe his arm, the helmet. That's how a lot of injuries happen. You know, a finger hits a helmet or an arm hits a helmet, and believe me, that does not tickle when that happens. So that might have been what happened there. Huskies, 4-20 ticks to go in the second. This is not how you script keeping Darius Jordan on the bench, but this is one way how you do it. Keep the turnovers rolling And what does the Big D always say? What's better than turnovers, Big D? Points off turnovers. There you go. From the 41 now, 1st and 10. Birch again, looking, airing it out deep. Left side, just overthrown to 22 and 10 a receiver, Tanton Elliott. They really seem to like this 22 on the flies, the bombs. So he's going to be a very exciting player as the season continues to go along. There's Bloodhound and, well, we'll call it like it is, his main squeeze. She was telling me there last week, I don't mind being the main squeeze of the Bloodhound. You know, a lot of girls would hear that name, Bloodhound, and they'd think, oh, I don't want no part of him. But, you know, she certainly does, and the main squeeze of the main man upstairs, the Bloodhound. Husky's not too concerned with the clock. There's the Ox. Did we just have the running of the Ox? He's across the way on the other side. That's why Andy the Big Bad Wolf took over the camera duty for him. He's got to go set up over there. Yeah, the Ox. And I said a minute ago, don't feed the animals. Well, he's caged in over there. Birch, high snap, over the middle, almost picked off. Almost threw it right to Isaiah Swift. I'm not completely sure that play needed to be rushed as much as they rushed it. But it sets up a big 4th down play, especially coming off the turnover where the Huskies have really not moved the ball very well since. Well, this quarterback again, Darius Jordan, easily their most talked about player. 6 foot, 175 pounder. He both threw and passed for 1,000 yards last season. You think about that. That's only in 9 games. That's pretty impressive stuff. 4th down and 9 now. High snap again. Birch airing it out deep for anyone. Over the back, but a nice play. He mostly threw that one to Toriano Hudson. And if Nabozny was going to make that catch, he would have had to come over the top of the corner there, Hudson, who had great positioning. And the Huskies turn it over on downs. Woods holds after the turnover, so no damage done at all. Jordan, though, he runs a 4.5 40. Really, that's decent for his age, a 4.5. And he'll probably improve on that as he gets older. He's currently being recruited by Division II schools of the NCAA. That's really the difference. Mac Red get recruited by D1. Mac Gold and below recruited by D2, that kind of thing, junior colleges. And I said it earlier, I believe this kid has probably Mac Red talent. If he was on a Mac Red team, he would certainly fit there. Anyway, the give. Got about 3, brings up 2nd down. And we'll say a short 7 yards. Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. Big D's getting a drink of water right now. Thanks to the CPHS Channel 6 staff. Provides the Big D with unlimited water and even a heater up here. Thanks for that tonight, folks. So the Big D can't complain as much as usual, we'll say. Isaiah Swift, nice turnaround right around left tackle. And that brings up 3rd down and short. Looking across the field, step-by-step process. Looks like Paul Campo's over there as well, hooking things up with Ox. It's a step-by-step procedure. It's like putting Lego together over there. But they don't need instruction booklets. They're used to it. There they are over there. Looks like maybe Paul Campo screwing something in there. See, the trouble with Ox is he still wants to watch the game. As much as he wants to concentrate on what he's doing, he's very interested in what goes on down here. Jordan, keeper, outside. 1st down and more. Trying to push forward. They push him back, 99 among tacklers. Josh Conant. It's just coming so easily. Because when he's going around tackle, he's jogging, Jordan. Like I said, his top speed is not reached until he hits open field. Here you see again, this big Isaiah Swift, he's looking for anybody to block right there. Finally, he picks one. Really, it was the wrong one. But by then, Jordan had already had the 1st down. Under 2 to go in the first half here. Woods isn't really concerned about the time. They've got 2 timeouts, by the way, if you're wondering. So they're not concerned really at all. And the way they've moved the ball, why not? Isaiah Swift jumps right on the 40-yard line. Tripped up kind of as he did jump. He looks very impressive. You cannot give this kid holes because in the open field he's so big. It's like a runaway freight train. Yeah, all aboard, I'll say. Not really sure where those stands are. I think that's to the far left. Kind of makeshift stands there. Shotgun again, man in motion with one back. Here's that wideout screen again to Schindler. Great picking up of block, and he could be gone. They're dragging him down. They're going to call a horse collar or neck tackle, if you will, as well, right at the 20. It's going to be first and goal here in a moment. Such a big play a moment ago for the Huskies getting that turnover, but a big drive that really was failed. The only way you're going to beat this Tower team is to outscore them. You can say that about any team, but you've got to put up the points to beat these guys. If you get turnovers on these guys, you've got to score. That's all there is to it, because you know when they hit the field again, they're going to come right down it. A minute 3. Time not really their friend right now. They do have 2 timeouts, though. Both teams do. 3 wide again, 2 on the far side. 1 back. They escape the backfield, leave Jordan alone, left to right. Corner, touchdown, Jordan. Basically, your 2 wideouts that were lined up far side, they go over there and run a pattern with the tailback to make the Huskies think, okay, it's topside. But it's not, because all they're really doing there is clearing the offensive backfield out for Jordan to go the other way. And that's what he did. Nothing there. And really, once they jump the line, there's no Husky on most of these plays for 3 or 4 yards. Extra point is up? Yes. 35-14. If you can believe it, it was actually 7-6 Huskies not that long ago. But since then, all Titans. There you see, he's too quick, east-west. And then when he starts to go north-south, he's already made it. Hey, the killer's back in town. Brandon the Killer Kovac, ex-employee of CPHS. There he is. Legendary for the Killer nickname. And I guarantee you he probably didn't like the Killer nickname. But Killer Kovac, another past CPHS employee. Nice to see Chad Schuler, the Shoeless Dozer, who was here last week as well. Another great ex-Channel 6 employee. They've had lots of them. Certainly we have a good time here, and the staff, a big reason for that. Always doing a good job. Let's get nasty, Port Huron. They give Northern a squib kick. Goes right to Hughes, drops at the 30. And if you want an up man, or an up lineman, if you will, to take that one, Hughes is really not that bad of a choice. A kid that's always around the football and always touches the ball. If you're a kicker in that situation and you're going to do squib kicks, what you want to look for are numbers that you don't usually see, that don't usually touch the ball. Or anybody nervous. If you can see through their helmets and they're nervous to get it, well, that's who you kick to too. Final 48 seconds. This is a screen. Hughes, middle to the 40. Should be right on the sticks. And they stop the clock for a measurement here, I think, with 40.7. If you're in a prevent defense, this is the kind of play you call, screen passes. Because you know the middle, they're deep in the middle. So you know screens are going to get 5 and 10 every single time in the bend but don't break style. So that's why you run them. Because if you're Tower, you're basically protecting either field goal territory or the end zone. Well, they did. They dropped back. Actually, that's pretty well defended. They had a hand in his face too, but good job, Hughes. I tell you, from what I've seen of this sophomore running back, Travis Hughes, I like it. Again, a dynamic they haven't had in years. 51, by the way, coming off the injury there, I should point out there. Jason Holloway, we hope he's all right. And he should be. He's a TG tough guy. Pump fake. Birch looking to go deep. Instead he keeps. Now he's on a QB rollout, but they get to him. And they down him with a sack. 89, Andrew Zanetti, a name I called beginning of the broadcast. Well, Birch just tried to do too much there. Really, I think that's one you could consider throwing away. Not always easy to just throw one away either. You've got to make sure there's somebody over there. Or else the grounding call, of course. Huskies call timeout, by the way. 25.3 left in a first half that really has been dominated by Warren Woods and their very highly touted offense. And time of possession is probably closer than people think with a score like this. There you see our side, the patented CPHS Channel 6 banner underneath the slow-mo cam up there. And a lot of tower guys up there, too. I think both teams are up there, really. Right above me. Second down and 15 from the 35 when play indeed resumes. But yeah, a first half owned and dominated by Tower and their offense. And with basic play calling. But when you have such dynamic athleticism from guys like Jordan, guys like Swift, you're going to win a lot of games. This is overthrown, almost picked off. Right through the hands there of intended receiver 16, Ryan Hunt. Stops the clock with 19-9 to go in the second quarter. Bit of a long first half, but you'd expect that. There's 7 total touchdowns on the board. That's a lot of stop time. Huskies can build on this, though. They can build on a first half where they got 2 touchdowns at least. Shotgun. Give immediately floored. And now do they maybe just consider letting this clock roll? No, they call the timeout. 12.3. And while I make this timeout, I want to say how badly I laid an egg on my prediction last week of Michigan beating Notre Dame. It's kind of funny in a way if you think about it. Oh, Big D, you're the big football guy. Give us an accurate prediction. Oh, okay, Michigan's going to win. 31-0. Are you kidding me? I was floored. And Brady Hoke, as far as I'm concerned, should be ashamed of that. That was unbelievable to lose to Notre Dame by that much. I know it's got nothing to do with this game. Timeout here. Big D loves going off topic during timeouts. You know that. But 31-0. Did I ever lay an egg on that prediction? And if I'm going to be so honest with you and, admit that I laid an egg, then you can bet I'm going to brag when I get them right. So expect that. But maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Yeah, easy to say, Big D, don't open your mouth. Well, I'm a loudmouth and I do anyway, but maybe next time I won't even predict Michigan games because it's getting that ridiculous in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And man, if they don't find a way soon, look out. Honestly, look out. Back to this one. 12.3 left in the half. They're just going to punt it away now. And they leave it alone. Huskies going to try and let this clock tick down. They don't want Jordan to have another play. Well, he's going to, but I think they're going to come out and kneel, and that'll be the half anyway. But you have to make sure, just in case, the way he has owned this first half of football. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS, Channel 6, EBW.TV. Special thanks to Shelly for bringing the magic box, the Big D magic box that makes it happen for EBW. And makes it happen really for the Big D. I've thanked them many, many times for this. It's the first time since they've come along, really, that I can watch myself from anywhere. I never could before, crossing the border. But now I can at EBW.TV. Well, the final play of the half is going to be a screen. Nowhere to run. Toriano Hudson. But credit them for not kneeling. They still came out and tried to get yards. That, folks, is the first half. A completely dominated first half by the Warren Woods Tower offense. They are everything they've been hailed to be, as is Jordan, and more. Big D Derek Wark, CPHS Channel 6, back with the second half in a little bit. But first, 35-14, Warren Woods Tower over our Huskies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your over 200-member 2014 Fort Huron Northern Marching Band under the direction of Eric St. Major, field leadership of Senior Drum Majors Christy Prado and Jessica Ankley, field commanders Adam Shibahowski, Kate Lebers, color guard captains Megan Burns and Allie Evanson, horn captain Braden Houle. This year's halftime gives us a look at one of the groups that broke into American pop music. The opener sets up for the experience of music of various stages in the band's reign over the world of music landscape. Magical Mystery Tour was both a movie and an 11-track EP released in 1967. The Northern Band shifts to 1968 in a piece that was intended to convey the feelings of a busy, hardworking woman on each day of the week. Lady Madonna features every section of the band's melody. Field leadership, are you ready to start your show? The Fort Huron Northern Marching Band proudly presents Beatlemania. Stepping back into 1966 tell a slightly more somber tale conveying the feelings of a people in post-war Britain. Our arrangement features interesting percussion riffs and great melody lines from mellows and altos. Please enjoy Eleanor Rigby. Finally, we present our third of four songs which feature both the color guard, the senior guard captains Megan Burns and Allie Evanson, and a trumpet duet of seniors Gabby Bynum and Frank Beckschneider. We hope you enjoy this very creative and emotional mashup of Blackbird and Yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, your over 200 member 2014 12-year Northern Marching Band under the direction of Eric Sickmajor. Percussion instructors Matt Nabosny, Zach Nye, and Corey Scobie. Color guard instructor Emily Wilton. We look forward to performing the rest of this year's halftime show at Beatlemania before the next football game. Color guard and drum major outfits were designed and sewn by Ann Tim. Thank you, band. Tuesday, October 7th, the Northern Marching Band will join a dozen other groups from around the area for the 2014 MSBOA Marching Festival. Please join us at this festival and watch the music in motion. Titan fans, welcome back your Titans.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, second half action. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS. So on that note, as we get one final word from the officials here, hands up and hands just about to be down, just about underway. Let's get Husky Port Huron. Taken to the 25, stumbles a bit to the 30. Up 35 and out of bounds 35. Well, I've wrote up the last couple of weeks about the Big Reds on bigdsports.info. Well, tomorrow or the next day or whenever I feel like it, I don't want to slack too much because I don't want to get away from these games, but when I will put it up, I will talk about this one. Looks pretty hurt. This is one of those situations where obviously you cross your fingers and say, I hope it's just a cramp. Again, as I always welcome them, big fella in the truck tonight, EJ Shea, production supervisor, director, producer, all that mumbo jumbo mumbled up into one. Ed Sinek, the man in charge. There you go down there as well. But how you doing, folks? Once again, it's Derek Wark. It's the Big D for CPHS. Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station, and of course, home of the Big D. There you go. 984-6621. That's 810-984-6621, the number to call for continued programming information as well. All Request Friday. Don't forget about that. Call in anytime at 984-6621. And if you want, request whatever show you'd like to see over again. And Fridays, they play it. All Request Fridays. CPHS. Channel 6. Well, after one half, really, all Warren Woods Tower, as we kind of expect with their dynamite quarterback, Darius Jordan, 35-14 at the half. Last-minute instructions from Coach Connell. Looking very unsure. First down on their first set of drives of the half. Buried immediately, Isaiah Swift on the tackle. Well, really the story, and he's been the story since he's come to Warren Woods Tower, has been Darius Jordan of the first half. All kinds of touchdowns. You name it, he did it. He rushed for it, he passed for it. But nice to see on their part, Isaiah Swift, this number 28, he's also lined up as a linebacker right now. Did a great job for them, and really, I think, set the pace. Talk about setting the pace here. It's a sack, Jack, 27, Brandon Morial. And that's going to set up third down and long. Not a good start to this half for Port Huron Northern. But yeah, Isaiah Swift and Jordan, I complimented them both as an excellent 1-2 punch for this team in the offensive backfield. Well, really, for the Huskies, it comes down to their defense and how rushing quarterbacks are tackling nightmares for them. We're talking Nightmare on Elm Street. And still, this problem isn't really solved yet, but Darius Jordan is one of the top in state. So it's easier said than done in stopping this kid because no team really has done it. 24, that's German on the catch this time, but nowhere near. It's going to be fourth and long, and Huskies likely going to have to punt here in just a moment. Right, Andy the Big Bad Wolf, sir? Is that him howling? It's not an aggressive howl. He's got to put more emotion into that. You really use the neck, you know, woo, like that, man. Come on, Big Bad Wolf. There it is. Atta boy. Good stuff. This is not, however, great stuff. 3 and out. Huskies punting, but pretty good punt. This isn't bad. Almost hit. A Titan there. Rolls to the 35 and down right there. That's where Darius Jordan will bring his boys out for the next set of plays here. Downs and the drive. Again, a tackling nightmare. I said it was very important that the Huskies tackled better than I've seen in the past, especially against this kid. I don't even know how much longer we're going to see this kid for, really, but certainly great athlete. And these are the kind of athletes that have given the Huskies trouble. Because let's face it, the Huskies have not tackled in these past few seasons like they certainly are capable of. Maybe they will here in the second half. Maybe things will be a bit different. Anyway, 1st and 10 from the 35. Darius Jordan, the keeper, gets 8, gets 9, falls forward 10, fumbles the ball.
Darius Jordan, the ball carrier.
And I think he got it back just as the
Number 30, Adam Shire.
pylon happened here. He did. He got it back. Gain of 11, first down by the looks of things for Warren Woods Tower. Artez Hadley slow getting up, by the way, for the Huskies. But he got up all right because he's a TG tough guy. That's why. The Ox is coming back. Coming back up the stairs here. There you see him on your screen there. That's the walking of the Ox. He's the running of the Ox. He went across the way there. Set up the camera work there for the halftime show from the other side. Jordan passing again on first down. Overthrows the intended receiver that time for Charles Barnes. Got his first look of the night. And second down.
Barnes, incomplete.
If you're the Huskies too, I've said this enough already. You've really got to build on what you've done. You know, play by play, quarter by quarter, day by day, game by game. You really do. And they have some things they can build on nicely, offensively at least, in that first half of play. Got a couple touchdowns. We'll see if they can maybe grow on that. But this is, again, missed tackles, and then he slips and falls. Good thing for the Huskies, he did slip and fall. That's that Isaiah Swift again. Got away from another missed tackle. Robert Lane picked up where the missed tackle led off. Now, see, as hard as he works, as much as he ran across the field a moment ago, he deserves food. He deserves nourishment. He deserves a hot dog. And you see, he's not the only one who deserves a hot dog. And as you can see, you grab for the food of an ox, you're going to flat out pay for it, folks. And Andy the Big Bad Wolf, he almost did there. The Ox was throwing WWE punches there. Lucky it wasn't the real thing. I would think if it would be the real thing, just one little smash from the Ox would be enough. He's a big, big boy over there. Glad I have my own booth for that reason. Doesn't have a door lock, though. Anyway, enough about that. 1st and 10 from the 33. From shotgun, 3 wide look again, 2 on the far. Jordan, keeper again. Look at the hole he had to run through. 25, now 20. Shaking off tackle, 15. Down 10, maybe the 9. And he is not at top speed when he's doing that. No wonder he keeps, though. That play designed quarterback rollout. When you have an agile quarterback like this that both runs and passes, again, you want to get him out of the backfield. You want to get him in a position where it's up to him to decide whether he wants to run or pass. I'm not sure that play was designed for anything specific. Just more about him making the choice. Nice stiff arm there, by the way, too. And he is nowhere near a top speed. But if you notice another thing about how he runs, he's looking at the team. He's trying to fake out a team, not one guy. He's looking downfield. How can he shake his hips and fake him out, too? That's how you do it. Absolutely. Everything he's been touted to be and more.
Isaiah Swift for the ball.
And so has this guy, really. Isaiah Swift. Couple more yards. And he was not even the primary tailback that they listed for me. Toriano Hudson, maybe Tyler Vargo as well, although Vargo, they said, was a fullback. But this Isaiah Swift, I mean, you gotta like his power game, his toughness, bashing through the line, you know, battering ram style, rumbling, bumbling, that kind of thing, getting the hard-nosed yards. And then again, you have Darius Jordan getting, you know, the athletic yards, the agile yards, getting the 40 and the 50. It's a good combination, good mix. Swift, yep. Adios.
Isaiah Swift, Titans touchdown.
Again, you have a guy that big, that hard to tackle. It hurts to tackle him. That's all there is to it. It's hard to bring the man down. Very, very dangerous, this kid, in red zone situations, which means you need penetration at the line. And again, you stop him in his tracks before he gets through the line. Even slow down momentum and wait for tackling help. But he's not even being touched when he's going through in the red zone like that. And it's about to possibly be 42-14. They actually faked lining up for the kick here and went for 2 on the outside. flag first, we'll see. I don't think he got in anyway. And I think it's holding against Tower. And Husky's just going to decline this. So the 2-point conversion is going to be no good. That's why, as a team, on special teams, on, in this case, an extra point try, that's why your line lines up far left, far right. They go in motion to get to the football. So that if you try a fake like that, you practice it, you're ready for it, because you've been doing the setup for it all game long, right? It is Parents' Night tonight, and before the game, they do it a little bit of a different way. See, the Big Reds, when they announce Parents' Night, the parents and the player physically walk together to midfield from, the dressing room area. We see the replay again. Not even touched. There you go. They bump them a bit, but that's all. Anyway, what I was going to say about Parents' Night here is the kids all line up on their sideline, and head coach Pat Connell, he basically congratulates them, shakes their hand, and they walk out to midfield where the parents are waiting for them. So that's kind of something different too. Nice to see. Being original, Big D, he's all about originality. 8:08 to go, third quarter, 41-14, and let's get nasty, Port Huron. Bounces at the 20, fielded Nabosny 25, now he goes left, might be a seam, lowers through 37 and out of bounds.
Colby Nabosny on the return.
Well, now let's talk about the Husky schedule and what we've seen so far and what we will see. First off, August 28th, they lost the opener to St. Clair Shores Lakeshore. What hurt about that one wasn't just that it was a 31-26 loss by 5. Lakeshore is of the Max Silver, so that technically is a division down. Folks, can't be any clearer on it than that. You're supposed to win those games. That's all there is to it. This is in and out of the hands of Colby Nabosny. In that particular game, the loss to Lakeshore, 31-26. Kyle Birch, pretty good game, 21 of 30 for 255, 2 touchdowns, and he also had 9 carries for 45 rushing yards on the ground. Travis Hughes in that one, the leading rusher as far as tailbacks go, 5 for 53, and touchdown runs of 13 and 25. More on that in a moment. Travis Hughes mentioned him a minute ago. He's got it now. Nice little running back screen there. Got some yardage. I tell you one thing about Travis Hughes, and certainly a mention of Tyler Hughes. I think they're brothers. I was not told one way or the other, but he's a little smaller, so he's more versatile. He's quicker. Tyler was just a flat-out, here, hit me, I'm going to bash through you power guy, similar to this Isaiah Swift. But I expect big things from this Hughes, absolutely, because he's built like, a typical, smaller, harder-nosed, game-breaking tailback than certainly the running backs they've had in, recent past seasons here. This is offside, defensive line jumped, 5-yard penalty, and 3rd and long becomes 3rd and short now on that note. Tanton Elliott in that first game, the leading Husky wideout, 7 for 76. Carter Schwartz had 5 for 60 and an 8-yard TD reception. Ryan Hunt caught a 68-yard bomb from Birch. He was 3 for 89. So they moved the ball on offense and mainly no turnovers, which finally a plus, but Lakeshore rushing stats is why they lost the game, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Birch, shotgun look again, good protection again, fades over the middle and incomplete. What's too bad about that one is German was in the middle of the zone. And really, he catches that. There's a lot of yards there. From what I've seen of this Woods Tower defense, you can beat them. There's been instances tonight where if the Huskies would have just held onto the ball or caught the ball, they were wide open. They could have got some massive yardage after the catch. But there again, another example. They just can't make the completion. Birch, 2nd and 10. Thinking, keeping, no, sacked. Right at the 40. Ouch. 53 among tacklers, Daryl Cowart.
Stopped on the play by Morelli.
Well, in that game, Lakeshore rushing stats. Talked about it here a moment ago. We'll finish up here now with the Lakeshore game. 301 rushing yards to just 112 for Port Huron Northern. Defensively, They just didn't tackle the run. Similar to tonight, too much rushing yards for the opposition on basic play calls. 3rd down and long, it's 3rd and 15. Play fake, looking out there, looking. Now Birch is gunning, going deep with it, and that's got to be called. Yes, it is. The reason that is not called is that your pass defense isn't looking at the ball for starters, but not looking at the ball, slowing down the chance for the wideout to catch the ball. It's the correct call. You're going to get that call 9 times out of 10, guaranteed. And the fans down here are like, what happened? You know, why? I guarantee you that is the correct call. You can't not look at the ball, interfere with the wideout, and put your arms out. You can't. Pass interference every time, no doubt. Here you see it again. Nobody really bought the play fake with Hughes. That play, I think, is actually designed for a flat pass, but they decided to gun it. And look, there's 3 men on him, but yes, that is absolutely pass interference. Birch tries the quick snap on 3rd and short. They might have been offside. Flag thrown right at the line. Birch lined up from shotgun there and said, heck with this. Going to try and get him on a hard count. Went right under center. And they jumped. Not bad, something different. Anyway, last week they also lost to Marysville 43-9. Again, 2 early Husky turnovers on the first 2 possessions. They were the big downfall, really. Marysville led 15-0, just 3 minutes into the game. As we see the Channel 6 bus, crazy Carl Stafford down there. Stafford, sorry. He said, don't call me Stafford, Big D. That is not my name, sir. Stafford, there you go. And of course, that was Andy the Big Bad Wolf as well. He's gotten a lot of press tonight. We got a timeout on the field anyway. 6 and 12 ticks to go in the third. 41-14 Tower. Well, in that game, Marysville, 320 rushing yards. So you've got back-to-back weeks here where Lakeshore, 301 rushing yards, and they're of the silver. And you've got Marysville, who are in your division, the gold, 320. That, folks, is 5.9 yards a carry last week. Meanwhile, again, Northern, just 61 yards on the ground. Most of them really on Birch scrambles. Ryan Hunt, the lone TD for Port Huron Northern, an 18-yard pass from Birch, and a 23-yard field goal by Sarah Vanderhoovel in the first quarter there. So thus far, the biggest flaw, we'll say, in the Husky game is their rush defense. 300 yards a game they're giving up. 300 plus, actually. Well, you want the main reason why they're losing. There's your main reason. And I said, beginning of the broadcast, Big D's big 3 keys to winning. Finish your tackles. Teams get 300 yards against you on the rush. You're not doing that. Pass rush picked up nicely by Travis Hughes. And that great block there is the reason why Birch got a first down. That is an exceptional pickup block by the little guy, Travis Hughes, right there, because it springs Birch free. And I should also mention, great presence of mind by Birch to keep composure and be smart about where the sticks are. But see if we can see a replay of a very nice pickup block here. To the right of Birch right now is Hughes. Now watch him here. That's the first one. But he comes back into the play. Well, they don't show it there. Okay. Hard to see there anyway. But he came back and made another block there and sprung Birch free. So that's a good job. Again, Hughes, a good-looking young tailback. And he looks fearless. You know, a better build than his brother. As for game-breaking ability, we said, I'm calling it his brother. I think it is. It would make sense. I mean, Tyler Hughes graduated last year. Travis a sophomore, so it's possible. Anyway, this is a personal foul, I believe, on the Huskies. A spot of the foul call, I think. Going to set them back. Well, maybe not a personal foul. 5-yard penalty anyway. We'll see where they mark this. No, it is a spot of the foul. Or not. Okay, they're saying a hold. It still pushes them back at any rate. Back inside their own territory now. The 48 is where they get it. On, I believe, 1st and 20 from there. 4 wide, 3 on the near side. Birch. Throwback screen, no. In and out of the hands of intended receiver. In this case, the tailback, Travis Hughes. We've seen the screen run a few times by the Huskies tonight. Pretty effective when they've done it for the most part. Anyway, the rest of that schedule, again, a loss to Lakeshore, 31-26, a loss to Marysville, 43-9. We have tonight hosting Warren Woods Tower. The rest here in a moment. This one off one hand, off the other hand of Birch, off the long snap, and wasted play, loss of more, third, and an eternity now. September the 19th, next week, they're at Lincoln. Then they're back here on the 26th, hosting East Detroit. Two teams that I think would be very winnable games, and they're going to have to be if they want any wins on this schedule, because October 3rd at St. Clair, the 10th they're at Marine City. October 17th they've got Sterling Heights here, another winnable game. So there's a few more winnable games here for the Huskies. Birch, wobbly pass, right smack dab in the hands of 6, Jeff Lowe, who had it played perfectly. Brought back the other way. 22, Tanton Elliott made the tackle, very frustrated, pushing and shoving as he gets away from that tackle, but 6, it's all about the position here, Jeff Lowe. And you could tell that I don't think Birch got as much on that pass as he could have because it was a wobbly ball. But that's just defensive positioning. As much as you can get some yardage on Tower from a defensive standpoint, they do still make plays. They do. They're a big play team, really, on both sides of the ball. And I tell you, it's going to take everything Marine City and St. Clair has to beat this team. Maybe even Marysville. We'll wait and see. Marysville, tough loss week 1. Then they destroyed the Huskies last week. So, again, we'll have to wait and see how Tower does in the gold. But there's some very intriguing games in that division this year. Read option. Darius Jordan, sick cut. Gets by Hadley. You could argue a horse collar tackle, too. Inside the 5. It's going to be 1st and goal. If a player like that makes the first man miss, it's almost the equivalent of making, 8 men miss, 6 man miss. Because you're getting past the front 7, and you can't expect with speed like this to catch a guy when you're past them all. See that cut? Now you're already past 7 men. Now all he's doing now is outrunning 2 or 3 more. But that hard cut like that just bought him 20 more yards. Swift again. Stumbled as he ran with it. That's all they've done on 1st and goal from inside the 5. They give to this Isaiah Swift, and they get out of the way and they watch him just go through everything. Huskies down here, slow to get up. Flag on the play, by the way. 2nd and goal now from the half-yard line, it looks like. If Swift doesn't stumble there, he's in again. That's all there is to it. Crowd down here still yelling for that horse collar tackle on Darius Jordan. It's a personal foul on the Huskies.
Personal foul call against the Huskies.
This is where I think football rulings have to be changed. I think if it's a personal foul and you're in a half the distance position, I think it should be a touchdown. I really do. Because otherwise, what are you doing other than changing the downs? You're going half the distance, but when it's on the half, how do you go half the distance of a half-yard line? I would say it's an automatic touchdown. It is anyway. That's the point.
Touchdown.
It's another touchdown. They said Isaiah Swift's name. I think it's Jacques Lovejoy instead. Another Titan touchdown. I think we're into running time here in a moment. But most of their touchdowns have been like this. 1st and goal from short distance, and they just battle through the Huskies. Set up, of course, by the long runs of Darius Jordan. Finally going down that schedule. Week 9, by the way, October the 24th. It's the Battle of Port Huron, the Super Bowl of Port Huron. Huskies and Big Reds on the 24th and Week 9. Again, I like the fact that they're doing this. I've said it last week a little bit when the Big Reds were here. That, by the way, is a missed extra point. So it's 47-14 instead.
Point is no good.
But I like the fact that your number one rivalry, and I don't really care how the comparison in talent works, okay, in, season out. You want to play your number one rivalry on week 9. Anytime it's not on week 9, I just don't get it. It makes no sense. Michigan can go and lose every game 40-0 from here on out, and they still would play Ohio State in the final week. You have to play your rival, your top rival, last. I just don't see any way around that. What's the point of putting it the 5th game or the 6th game or mid-schedule? It just doesn't have the same oomph. And you can say, well, Huskies are going to be, the team not favored to win that game. But it still adds to that thought, so they can play spoiler then. Believe me, that matters to them too. So, I love the fact that it's week 9 anyway. That schedule agrees with the Big D. What else does this? Let's get nasty, Port Huron. Nice booming kickoff. It was a penalty, actually, a moment ago on the touchdown, assessed on the kickoff. So they actually kicked from the Husky 45 and just took full advantage of that and booted it right into the end zone. And high school rules, because there's so few touchbacks, because they don't kick the ball that far, usually at this level, they don't adapt the NFL, or at least college, and the 25-yard rule. They still put it on the 20 for touchbacks here.
Huskies, 1st and 10 from
Don't
the
forget as well about my website, bigdsports.info. I write about all the games I call play-by-play for, and I will write about this one too, from the announcer's perspective. Birch, first down. Nope. In and out of the hands.
pass intended for Nabosny, incomplete.
In the slot to Colby Nabosny, incomplete.
2nd down and
And I've told people before, I try to write on bigdsports.info like I'm sitting in the lazy boy having a few pops watching the game. Because that's how football people talk. You can go on there and try and write professional articles and all the rest. But do people talk that way? No. No, they don't. BigDsports.info, I do. This past the 30 to the 31. This is number 8, the backup running back I mentioned. Top of the broadcast, Clinton Massey
Clint Massey, the ball carrier.
on the carry there. 3 and 39 to go in the third.
Play by number 21. Bam.
Well, I'll name off the Channel 6 staff here in just a moment. Not as long as usual because the Clinic of Cynics are not here. That's a high snap. Look out here. Birch actually jumped on it simply because the ball took a funny bounce on 34, who would love to have that one back, Bradley Coles. Well, when it rains, it pours, really. That's what it's coming down to right now. Birch, good presence of mind to jump on it. But an offense that is struggling, you can't set yourself back like this. Turnovers are huge in the game of football. Birch, play fake, no. That's just not going to work. Because they're getting penetration. Well, they're frustrated, and you can see that they are.
Zanetti on the stop with the Titans.
But what do you do? I mean, it is 47-14. It's not like they're backed up with it being 17-14 in this situation. Doesn't make it any easier, I get that, but 2.5 left in the third. Derek Wark, the Big D. Being big, a state of mind. From Memorial Stadium, from the folks in the truck, CPHS. I'm going to read them off, by the way, here in just a minute. I didn't forget. And EBW.TV, too. They brought the Magic Box to record the Big D tonight and broadcast that one on EBW a few days later. Shotgun, 4 wide, man in motion. On this 3rd and 21, they set up the screen. Well, great open field tackle. That's from the backside, 15. That's a good job, Jacques Lovejoy. And the beauty part about that is Clinton Massey is trying to set up, trying to find any opening area, and he doesn't see him from behind. He doesn't see Lovejoy make that tackle. He doesn't hear him, doesn't see him, nothing. 4th down and a ton. Huskies to punt. Not really a lot to cheer about on Parents' Night, other than the fact that at one point it was 7-6 Huskies. Since then, the closest they came was 2 touchdowns at 28-14. It's been all Woods Tower. This might be partially blocked, that punt, but it ended up being a terrific punt, to be honest. Going to be down just shy of the 40, maybe the 39. So Huskies got something out of that, certainly. I believe it was Birch on the punt, too. There's a sign down there. Not sure what number, but it says, "He's my guy." They've had that sign down there for years. There's another one down there that says, "I love number 6." So Bobby Lane apparently has a big-time fan there, whether it be his girlfriend or not. I love number 6. I doubt that's a guy. Never know, but anyway. 1st and 10 from the 40. High snap, give, flags all over the place first, and whistles blow. Anyway, CPHS Channel 6 staff tonight. Paul Campow, the camera, far, far away, in a galaxy far, far away, down there to the left. Michelle Radford, also helping out tonight, is Crazy Carl Staffhorst. Tyler Smith, the Ox, is Sean Went. We all know him. Slow-mo camera is the Bloodhound up there on the roof, Chris Sorrell. Allowing the big fella in the truck down there, E.J. Shea, to have something to do down there, as he's the slow-mo director. The rest of the staff here in just a moment. The give, left side, these are backup players in there now. Missed tackles again. And see, these missed tackles are at the line, too. And they're frustrated getting up, too. It's starting to take their toll. James Harris was the running back here. And yeah, they've got their backup players in there now. 7, Trevor Ross is the quarterback, I believe, right now. No, check that. He's lining up in the slot. And it's going to be 13 by the looks of things. Zach Ozowski. So Ozowski getting some mop-up duty, if you will, some pad the stats. Harris around left again. They make the tackle this time. Should be just shy of the 1st down at midfield. The rest of the CPHS staff, the graphics girl, she does great graphics bit by bit by bit by bit. It's Bits, Aaron Bitzinger, and the Green Hornet is the production supervisor tonight, Ed Sinek. And there he is. He runs the whole shebang. See, oh, okay, he finally agrees with me that he runs the whole shebang. That's a first. He never has before. And see, they're even pointing at him down there. Yes, you are a legend. Thanks for everything, buddy. Always. So timeout on the field. Actually, that's the end of the 3rd. There we go. 47-14. Warren Woods all over the Huskies. Derek Work, Big D, back in the 4th in a flash. Welcome back. Welcome back. 4th quarter, Memorial Stadium. Derek Work, the Big D. CPHS Channel 6. Well, we're back to the action, so we'll talk about it in a minute here. We're going to have to. But Woods Tower, convincing. 47-14. They've been tremendous. What more can be said? They've got the backup players in there right now. Around left side. Gain of about 3 or 4. James Harris, backup player in there. Just started the 4th now. Cub, great job on camera as always. Wandering around here. Yeah, okay, so Great game if you're a Woods Tower fan, not so much if you're the Huskies. Got to build on certain things. A great first half as far as getting the offensive flow again, but it's not like, again, you can look at this game and say there's nothing to take from it. Travis Hughes, sophomore running back, I think you can definitely like what you see out of him. I mean, he's versatile, he can get the yardage, more built for, a bigger play kind of a guy, which they've lacked in certain seasons. Derek Wark, Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. Really, it's all about opportunity, and some knock on opportunity's door. If Big D ever comes to that door, he won't knock on it. He'll flat out kick it in and say, let's get nasty Port Huron. And that girl right there will definitely agree with me with that statement. There's the bits. And bit by bit, you do great graphics. Bit by bit. Yeah, there you go. Another timeout already. Huh. Heck of a way to start the fourth. The talk of everything coming into this game was this Darius Jordan. Well, it wasn't him. He'd like to think maybe it was him. Crazy Carl Stafford. And that's about as scary as I've maybe seen him look. A nice close-up. The artist formerly known as Genius, Crazy Carl Stafford. There you go. First and 10 from the 47. Northern's 47. Backup QB in there, Zach Azowski. And Azowski, not much on the QB keeper, got 2 and sets up second down. But again, all the talk was this Darius Jordan. And I think after seeing him and some of the things he can do, some of his skill set, in and out, north, south, and an east to west runner, I said coming in that the Huskies really have to contain him inside the pocket, because this is a kid that makes things happen when he takes off with his feet, when he gets out of the pocket. Some of the time they did, but most of the time Darius just did whatever he wanted to. He's a top-notch player. They don't come around every day, the kind of guys that can do both and do it with relative ease. We had one here in Port Huron in Chapman. Believe me, they're a rare breed. And very, very important that Warren Woods Tower respects what they have in him. Because you really do take these guys for granted. They're not here for long. 4 years they play if you're lucky. Most of them maybe as a junior, some of them not. Some of them just 1 year. And that 1 year is 9 games. And the home games, if you want to narrow it down even more than that, are 5. So you really don't get to see the prime talents that often. So when you do, my advice is to appreciate them. Because again, they just don't come around every day at any level of football. Even though in the pros, well, you can stay for your whole career. But just making the point, appreciate it while it lasts. Because there aren't tons and tons of Darius Jordans out there, I'll tell you. Anyway, on this fourth down, right up the middle. Okay, that was third down. This is going to be fourth down now. 4th and 7 officially. Looks like a short 7. And this drive looks like it's kind of stalled a bit. Most of the drives that Woods Tower has had tonight, they've just gotten yardage and, lots of totals and bundles and bunches and racks of yardage. Anyway, they're going to punt, trying to set the Huskies up with not the greatest of field positions. It's going to be a penalty actually against Tower, but this doesn't hurt them there. They'll just back them up more punt territory. The pros will do this on purpose. All you could see in that picture was bits and a flashing red light beneath her. That was it. I don't know what's flashing down there. Flashing red lights, never really a good sign, but we'll leave it at that. Don't want to jinx them. Here's the punt from a little deeper out. High punt, they call the fair catch at the 14. And I believe it was it 16 Hunt on the return there? I think so. Ryan Hunt, one of the captains of the Huskies this season. I should also say Carter Schwartz, another captain, Kyle Birch, and Spencer Vassbinder. So a few captains listed.
First and 10 Huskies.
Anyway, players of the game. There is absolutely no doubt Tower is Jordan, but that's really not fair to Swift. Either one of them would be accurate, but you have to go with Jordan just because he controlled the game and did what he wanted. So there you go. You can certainly make an argument for Andrew Zanetti defensively, so why not give it to him? Bradley Cole's had a nice day as well for them. Husky players of the game here in just a moment. This one is outside. Nice juke moves. Husky fans finally something to cheer about. I think a gain of 9 on that play. And the Husky fans over there are chanting Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. Rudy Nowakowski. Obvious why they're chanting Rudy, but just a little guy. Number 89. They list him as a wideout, actually. 5'4" and 115. And I like that. You know, the hard-nosed little guys. Similar to Montez Jackson from many years ago with the Big Reds. Just little guys that want to play hard, that want the ball, that want the playing time. And look at Nowakowski just got a first down for the Huskies. And they're chanting Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. How about that shirt, folks? How about the Detroit Lions on Monday? Ho, 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 ho. I love what Mike Ditka of ESPN said about them on the pre-show. He said simply, I take the Lions tonight. I take them huge. Why? If not now, when? Exactly. And they look great. The give on 3rd and 1, I'm not sure he got it. I think that's going to bring up 4th down. But I've never seen a better Matt Stafford. We know how great Calvin Johnson is all the time. You just got to get him the ball. But they owned the game. And Eli Manning looked out of it. But people that went, and I did know some people that went to that game, they said Ford Field was absolutely deafening. That's what I'm all about. Home field advantage. So that was a great win. That might be the most dominating Lion win. Well, especially on Monday night. That was awesome. Anyway, back to this one, but Big D gives 2 thumbs up. I loved that game, and it made up for Michigan's disaster against Notre Dame. Well, we have a timeout. Lining up, actually, was backup quarterback here, Ryan Hunt. Trying to draw them offside. They didn't do it. So now will they punt, or will they still go for it? You've really got nothing to lose at 47-14. There's that I love number 6. And there's 75, he's my guy. Jordan Killian, she's talking about there. Well, the Husky band trying to do anything they can to get the fans back into it, but down 47-14. A little bit rough here on Parents' Night. But it's always nice to have Parents' Night and to see them out there with their kids. And now they're chanting over there, we want Rudy again. It just fits the name. It fits the person, the Notre Dame Rudy to a par. Kind of an unsung hero kind of a guy. And it's really kind of cool that they're doing that. And he comes in, he checks in, and he gets a first down on back-to-back plays. So how about that? Maybe they want to see more of Rudy. This is a pretty good punt, actually. Gets to the 45-yard line. So Tower comes back out. For the most part, they're going to run this football. Try and bring that clock down a little bit. I'm going to the game tomorrow. Ann Arbor. They've got Miami of Ohio coming in. And I don't know what to think about it. I mean, I'm sure they'll win, but I keep thinking I've seen this movie before. Last year this happened. And Devin Gardner, well, they beat Notre Dame last year, of course, but then they started to play bad against Akron where they almost lost. So what happens? They step up and they say, this won't ever happen again. And what happened? It did happen again. It kept happening over and over. Anyway, timeout here with 7:12 to go in this one. 47-14. Warren Woods Tower. Again, it's the Big D. In a game where Tower is doing this much, anything they want, they've got the backup players in there right now. It's important, though, that the Huskies keep their composure. I mean, they're going to go to 0-3. Again, the cliche, the game by game, the play by play, the quarter by quarter. That is cliche, but it's very, very important. You have to look at it this way. Coach Connell is a fiery guy. He won't let them lose their composure. And quite frankly, as a team, they've just got to keep it upstairs. I mean, it's 0-3. You can still salvage your season. Got to look at positives over negatives. As the backup players I just mentioned line up now, Zachary Ozowski with 3 wide. The formation is bunched pretty tightly. They just want to run this football, really, and keep that clock moving. And look at him drag tacklers. That's a good old-fashioned run right there. 2 and 3 tacklers on 14 Harris, and he drags them for 4 more. Players of the game for the Huskies. I like the all-around game that 22 Tanton Elliott played. He's really grown from a season ago. 6'1", 180 now, and he's a senior. So why not? Travis Hughes also should get mentioned. Kyle Birch as well. Got a few touchdowns. Harris to the outside. Flag thrown in the offensive backfield. Then 2 more at the tackle. So could be a number of flags against Tower here. I think the first one was against them. We'll see about the second. So Tanton Elliott looks strong enough, but there's not a lot really to choose from because the game was owned by Woods Tower. Defensively, really, it's harder. I think that Patrick McGuffin going down is a huge loss for them because they really needed a guy like McGuffin in a game like this one, where, again, linebacker play, so critical when you're on shadow watch of a quarterback like a Darius Jordan. And McGuffin would have been key to that. Although he's more of the middle linebacker type, the run stopper, and Darius Jordan is east to west, at least then that gives you the depth at linebacker to say, okay, greater emphasis on east to west because we've got McGuffin in the middle just in case. Anyway, big time penalties here to Tower. After it's all said and done, they're going to be at their own 49. Operating left to right on the screen. As you're aware, our Huskies are right to left. 6:30 to go in the fourth. 47-14. It's all Warren Woods Tower. Read option, the give. Look at him battle forward, carrying more tacklers. 14, James Harris. 68 to tackle, David Hart for the Huskies. Well, it's pretty hard to name a defensive player of the game, so I'm going to hold off here for the Huskies, I think. And challenge them, and do that and challenge them and say, if you want me to, let's see greater tackling. Hard in a game like this to say that because of the great dynamic quarterback of WW Tower, but you know what? Yeah. I'd like to see better tackling from this football team, certainly, in future games. And as mentioned earlier, like at Lincoln next week of the Silver, they're hosting East Detroit. I believe they're of the Silver as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they are. Either that or the Bronze. I think they're Silver now. Those are back-to-back 2 winnable games, and one of those is going to be here. So this team, I don't think, is going to go with the big goose egg 0 under the wins column. I think they're going to get something out of this season at least. Well, this is a sack, Jack, and it's way back, 45. They just had too much pressure here. And really, you know that it's too much pressure when you can't throw the ball away. If you don't have time to even gun it away, you're going down. Huskies, finally, a sack, although to the backup talents on this Tower team. So Tower is going to go 3-0. There's the Bloodhound. He's trying to get a ghost maybe to run the camera, or showing somebody how to run the camera. He's probably saying to the Cub, this is how you run a real camera. Forget this portable stuff. Here's how you run the real stuff. And I'm sure the Cub fully interested in that. And as mentioned earlier, Bloodhound's got his woman here tonight. She offers to help out in any way humanly possible down there. You can never disregard that. You know, extra help is great help, I always say. So there you go. Anyway, another timeout in the field. It's the final timeout for the Huskies. 4:07 to go in the fourth. Again, it's Big D Derek Work, CPHS, Channel 6, EBW.TV as well. But 47-14. Huskies hung around for a little bit in the first half, but the key is you got to keep playing that way. And it just didn't happen with this high-octane offense of Tower. This is actually Darius Jordan, who checked in to punt the ball. And pretty good job. That's the kind of thing you practice, really. If you want Darius Jordan to be your pooch punter in the future, and it's not strange to have a quarterback come in and pooch punt like that. I mean, Doug Flutie, he used to do crazy things like that. You don't want a lot of height on that one or a lot of distance. What you want is the ball to bounce. You want it to bounce and bounce awkwardly, preferably to the side. And that's exactly what Jordan did. He didn't get it into the 10. They marked it actually the 16-yard line, but that's good enough. But that's the kind of thing you can practice, because later on, in games that mean something, you're going to need pooch punt. You're going to need, great special teams play if you want to win the MAC Gold. And the Cub is back again, as we have yet another timeout. Go Tigers, by the way, on a different story. That's not just a big D, it's a big D, an old English D for the Tigers. But again, 47-14, not a lot of scoring in this second half, not a lot to really, talk about anymore. But I think that the pass protection tonight, on a side note, because I talked about this earlier, pass protection up front for Birch was very good. I said that was a big key coming in, certainly all year long. Keep Birch upright, because injuries have also hurt this Husky team. Besides some bad luck in the past, injuries, bad luck, that kind of thing, it starts with protection. So far, so good, or at least in this game it has been, despite the big score. Big D, CPHS, Channel 6. See ya, Cub. He's so polite, too. Way more polite than the Bear was. The Bear would slam my door. Sometimes he wouldn't even shut it. The Cub says, please, thank you, and shuts the door. This is a face mask all the way here. And you know what's funny is, he didn't lay off the face mask at all. Usually when you grab it, you snap your hand right back because you're like, why'd I do that? But on this tackle, it's almost like he didn't care. He just kept his hand on the face mask. That's 15 all the way.
Face mask call against the Titans.
So they'll take it. Game out of hand now. The Huskies are going to go 0-3. But again, the next two are two winnable games. They've got to look at it that way. Losing is contagious. I said at the beginning of the broadcast. Winning is also contagious. Neither one lasts forever. Losing's the harder one to overcome, by the way. Well, you don't want to overcome the winning one. You always want to win. But the cure for losing is simply to get a taste of what winning feels like. Coach Connell is a fiery guy. He'll have this team ready, okay? But I do think he's a quality head coach. He's just not having a lot of luck. As I said a moment ago, injuries play a big part of that. But to talk to him, he's a real good guy. He's got a good football mind to him. I really think it's a matter of time. Sometimes it takes longer to win in certain systems than others. Pass outside. That's a great job by 25 there to stay with the feet. Kang Pham on the tackle.
Stop on the play by number 25. Pham.
2:40 left in the fourth. But do I think Coach Connell can eventually get the job done? Yes, I do. It's hard sometimes at the high school, or in this case varsity level, when you only have certain amount of kids for certain amount of years. Sometimes, again, junior, seniors, all you get them. Sometimes for just a senior year. Ryan Hunt, straight up, gets a few. Shy of the 45, maybe the Tower 44. Among tacklers, 55, Parker Chrysler. Final 2 minutes. But it's tough going, you know. 2 wins 2 seasons ago. 1 win 2 seasons ago. Okay, 2 last year. But 3-20. It takes its toll on the players. Certainly I get that. When it is taking its toll, though, staying positive is the key. Because negative teams aren't winning teams. They have to get a taste of what winning feels like again, and then go from there. Hunt, play fake, gets to the outside. Long body. Hunt, dragged down, good yardage. First down, Huskies to the 32. And the crowd does cheer that first down. They like that. Mainly because it's a good effort by Ryan Hunt. Well, they were dancing a bit a minute ago underneath me. Some of the Warren Woods Tower players, they're going to go 3-0. So far this year has been everything they'd hoped for and more. And I'm going to be very interested to read up on how this MAC Gold plays out this year, because it's going to be a lot of great games, a lot of intriguing games, and a lot of close matchups in terms of talent. So I'll definitely be watching for that with the top teams in this division. And Woods is on top of this division now at 3-0. If they call this a catch, should be great concentration. They're saying no, just overthrown. And not really over his head overthrown, more from a left to right standpoint, as he was standing right there on the line. Final 37.9 seconds to go in this one, and then we'll be out of here. And so important, too, is that you forget the week you lost and move on. Just keep working hard, Huskies. Just keep working hard. And especially their newfound running back, Travis Hughes. You keep working hard. Because certainly, it looks like a running back of the future here in Hughes. And a welcome one at that. This could be it unless they run another play here. Final 27 seconds. So it's certainly been fun tonight, despite the score. Huskies hung around for a while. But just Darius Jordan, Isaiah Swift, the rest of this Warren Woods Tower offense was just too much for them. And the Tower fans clapping, and why wouldn't they? They are ecstatic to make this trip and go home happy. 3-0 Warren Woods Tower. 0-3 Port Huron Northern Huskies. That's going to do it from Memorial Stadium tonight. Tough going for the Huskies. Hold your heads high, boys, and just keep fighting. That's my advice to you from the Big D to you. Derek Wark, the Big D, speaking on behalf of the entire cast of CPHS Channel 6. Again, the final score tonight, Warren Woods Tower 47, our Huskies 14. Congratulations, Warren Woods, at 3-0. Huskies, best of luck next week at Lincoln. Big D, out.